The optimism of the Israeli people is what got them in trouble, which is kind of an interesting side note. Um, you know, for people living in Israel, a little bit they have. You see, it's very interesting. People live in Israel like such grateful people, extremely grateful. They're grateful for the support that America gives them. They're grateful for anyone that comes by. It's kind of interesting because you read online, you would think like these people, you would think it's like a horrible country. It's just the opposite. The country is the best of the best, but not based on reviews. It's the biggest misconception between reviews and reality is the reviews about Israel, or the articles or whatever the garbage is written about them, and the reality of the actual people there. And when I was there in Israel after October 7th, it was being so bashed in the news. It was so bad. It was so like ironic to see. It's like here you're being bashed nonstop, genocide, whatever stupidity that they said, and here I am Friday night at a meal. And then there's the brave soldiers, the high conscious brave soldiers fighting the fight. And here at a Friday night Shabbos meal, everyone's singing songs. Here it's Israeli, the other part, the mainstream Israel society mourning, and grappling, and of what's happening. And even the demonstrations are better. They're more decenter. It's not a real word. Demonstrations in Israel are just a more decent than in America. American leftist demonstration, they destroy, they kill, they burn places down, they destroy. They're real Marxists. Demonstrations, even leftist demonstrations in Israel, they're quiet when the other person talks. It's I'm laughing because people in Israel, like, they don't know. They hate their left, and their left are very destructive. They cause untold destruction. It's not really leftism that causes destruction. Ultimately, it's a lack of principles, and it's a lack of being Jewish pride that created, and thinking that you'll be a member of the world, that created a lot of these problems. That being said, the optimism that Israeli people have are unbelievable. There's unbelievable optimism. I was once stuck in the airport with problems getting in, so I called my Israeli friend. He says, "Don't worry about it. It's a very optimistic. Why? They don't have a choice." That's the funny thing. Jews in America complained. In Israel, they had to do counterbalance, because if there's too much, it says in the Bible, if there's too much complaining, if the Jews complain too much, they're going to destroy the whole world. Actually, it's a funny thing. It's a funny line, but it doesn't actually say that in the Bible. But it was a threat in the story of Yom Kippur with the 10 martyrs. He said, if you continue, they're about to be killed as Jews, and 10 of them were killed in Jews in terrible, gruesome ways. And one was like, how do you do this? Like, how could you say that this is the way, the fairness of the world? So the way the story is that God responded, if you continue talking like this, I'm going to turn to the whole world into a thing of water if you continue complaining. In other words, it's part of, I'm not sure exactly where the source of this Jewish prayer, Jewish folklore. The thing that was but today, in 2025, if there's too many Jews complaining in the world's not going to be able to stand it. So what they do is, the Jews in America, they don't stop complaining non-stop, but in Israel, they wanted to counterbalance that with unbelievable optimism from the people of Israel, and that optimism got them in trouble. For example, when they went out of Gaza, and it's like, oh, what's going to be? Is Hamas took over? It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So that always lasts. That's excellent. You built an incredible country based on that. Unbelievable country with unbelievable people. The funny thing is, in America, you meet one optimist, you're like, wow, oh my God, this is so good. Wow, I want to become best friends with this guy and follow him for the rest of my life. The optimism is just intoxicating. In Israel, like, the average guy is like that. The average person is like that. Not guys, man. The average human being, the average person is like that. They just have that optimism. It's so deeply ingrained, and it's so true also. It's not fake American, like toxic positivity. I don't know what the word, like that fake positivity. Yeah, hi, great. No, it's not that way. In Israel, it's so different. It's more like, it's just real. It's just real. So, but that's got them in trouble, and because of that optimism has got them in trouble, because they didn't see how bad things were in terms of the threat, in terms of Gaza, anyway. But we hope the best. Unfortunately, you learn lessons. I've learned lessons in my life after October 7th. I learned terribly hard lessons, and Israel as a country and the people have learned, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna, because with Jews, you can never really you can never break them, and that's one of the reasons anti-Semites cannot stand Jewish people. They hate them. Imagine a minority that's vulnerable and successful at the same time, and you can never break them. It's like Jello, so it goes on the side. You can just never break Jews. Very malleable and adaptable. Which leads me to the next point in my book I'm going to read.